I'm down at the site of the Richborough battery storage plant. I'm on the boundary of a SSSI site right here and the great big battery storage plant here. This hardcore is about 1.5 metres high and this area covers 16 acres. We've worked it out to be around about 200,000 tonnes to build the level up. Now some of it was already here, but with only 20 tonnes in a lorry, that's about 10,000 lorry loads of hardcore that's been put here. This is not a sustainable place to build. And what we're getting as a result is heavily polluted runoff building up down here. More on that in a minute. They've also been cutting down these poplar trees. These poplars were a shelter belt that ran all the way. There's some left, those big tall trees. These poplars ran all the way down to Pegwell Bay by Bay Point, and they've just felled absolutely loads of them totally needlessly. And what they've been doing is just leaving all their rubbish in this ditch, and it's really polluted. Look at this down there, and there is no reptile exclusion fence in place. Developments like this, especially when it is bordering a SSSI site, need reptile exclusion fencing because there's grass snakes here, slow worms, lizards, toads, and they could easily find their way onto this place, which is just certain death for them. That's a nightingale. I'm just going to open my Merlin app on my phone. Common nightingale. How about that? One of the UK's fastest declining birds has just chipped in on my little video. And that's construction right next to a singing nightingale, if you can hear that. A Schedule 1 listed bird that's declined 92% since the 70s. And they'll be disturbing that nightingale with all this construction. We've got bulldozers vibrating the ground, we've got diggers, we've got staff making noises. They vibrate when they flatten the surface as well. This is a lot of hardcore they've had to flatten here. So that is no doubt disturbing nightingale territory, 100%. Back onto this dirty water that's building up. It's building up, and look at this tree they've damaged on the SSSI site. They've been damaging them, damaging the fencing. Complete disregard. They're vandalising trees on a SSSI site. What they're doing is they're working away along, cutting all this native blackthorn and hawthorn bushes. They're cutting them all right back. All these valuable trees and hedges on a SSSI site, including these poplars here. Look at the age of this one. Cutting all these back, damaging the fence. Look at the size of this tree. And they're going to be working their way along, cutting even more of the native hedgerow back, all the way along there. So needlessly as well. There's so much of it. It's a thick, dense scrub where nightingales breed right there in a SSSI site, and they're aimlessly removing all this native hedgerow and every tree they can. They are also, importantly, whilst firing up these chainsaws and these diggers and these rollers, they are disturbing a Schedule 1 listed bird, the nightingale, a bird that's declined 92% since the 70s. It's unbelievable here. Where's our authorities keeping an eye on this? It doesn't get much higher than a site of special scientific interest that they are vandalising. Turtle doves and nightingales they are disturbing. It's unreal, and the amount of hedgerow they're cutting back is outrageous. They've already done a good few hundred metres of it and replaced it with heavily polluted runoff. Now all this rainwater is building up in this dirty old ditch down here and working its way on to a SSSI site. So what we're going to do is we've got a bottle, and we are going to fill this bottle with some of this dirty water that's building up and going into the SSSI site from this unwashed hardcore, and we're going to get it tested. How about that? That is a long-eared owl chick calling in the bush there. And I'm right next to the Richborough battery storage plant where there's absolute carnage and destruction going on the other side of me. Here's my phone, my what three words are gentlemen, footballers, mermaids. That's the old wind turbine that's gone now. So just to clarify, I'll press the centre button again. This is where I am, okay? Right next to where the wind turbine used to be. And I've got long-eared owl chicks again right here. Yet all this work's allowed to go on right next to it, which is disturbing this bird. There's rollers, chainsaws, diggers, staff, and there's going to be a lot more noise to come as well. Long-eared owl. We have nightingale here as well, turtle dove, all sorts. Long-eared owl breeding right next to the battery storage plant. That's it calling in that bush over there. What is it? It's 8:30 at night. Long-eared owl chick, squeaky gate. Unbelievable.